course, Fallout 4 introduced the best mechanic, the power armor mechanics. We definitely need to bump up with the graphics and stuff. We definitely need the power armor mechanics within that game. But I'd also like to see a bit more customization with that as well. That's probably one of the biggest things, because it had impact when you were fighting. It definitely made you feel powerful. It made enemies feel very powerful, and I think that'll definitely do a fantastic job of allowing players to dive into the game, seeing some of the originality of 3, but also one of the better mechanics within 4. So I would definitely mind doing that. I'd also like to see some interesting things, interesting ways that they could potentially play with the power armor as well. Fallout 4, we saw some of the raiders use power armor as well, so that'd be pretty cool. But I'd also like some of the mechanics, like possibly, what was it, the jetpack was one of my favorite things in the game. Jumping off of buildings and not dying, one of my favorite aspects of the game. When you had your helmet on, you can use that as like a light. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Like they can introduce when you're in the power armor, you can actually walk through irradiated areas. I thought that was actually pretty cool as well. So there's a lot that they can do with that. I do want to see enemy variety. So, and what do I mean by that? Let's talk about the Raiders, for instance. In Fallout 4, we saw variants in Raiders. We saw the typical Raiders. We saw the more enhanced ones with better armor and better weapons. We saw the boss ones with the power armor. That's what I want to see in this game. The same thing with the different factions of like the Brotherhood. You saw some that wore their little scribe guys. You saw some with armor. And then you saw some with power armor. The same thing with what's those mercenaries in the game? They're pretty powerful. They're douchebags, but they're pretty powerful. The one guy, one of the companions, he was with them, and he ends up joining you. I can't remember the freaking group's name, but like with them, they have people that are regular guys. They had the regular guys, the regular enemies, and then they upgraded to ones with more powerful armor, more powerful weapons, and then of course their boss ones. I had the power armor with the like missile launchers, the mini nukes, the laser gats, like, and those are just the human ones. But let's look at the potential of the creatures themselves. Fallout 4. God, I keep going back to Fallout 4 because it was a great template for so many good ideas. Like the ghouls, they had the regular ghouls, the glowing ghouls, the rabbit ghouls, they had the gangrenous ones, the big bloated ones. They had in Fallout New Vegas did like what I had said earlier with some of the Death Claws. They had the adult Death Claws, they had the alpha Death Claws, they had the matriarch Death Claws. Fallout 4 took it a bit further with the legendary, the mythic, the blind, the chameleon, the what's the other one? The glowing, the albino, the alpha. Like, that's what we need in this game. Do that with the Yalguays, do that with the scorpions. Now, I will say this. I'm on the fence because I do love the designs of the creatures in Fallout 4, but if we're going to do a remaster of 3 and possibly a remaster of New Vegas, should they upgrade the creature designs to that of Fallout, the ones from Fallout 4? Personally, I think the Death Claws from Fallout 4 are better than the Death Claws in Fallout 3. Same thing with the Scorpion, the Rad Scorpions, the same thing with the Mirelurks. Even with the Super Mutants, I think they're better designed in Fallout 4. With the Behemoths too, the Mole Rats, I think they're all better. So that's a kind of an interesting question to kind of throw out there. Should they use the original designs of these creatures, or should they have the newer versions? And oh, don't let me forget, like, the ants. I want to see different variants of ants, and I do want to see a bigger ant presence because Fallout 3 has some giant ants in it, and there is an interesting story and location featuring ants. But I want to see their role be kind of expounded upon too, because I think they are completely underutilized. Yes, you get to see them in New Vegas, but again, despite the environment, I think they're still underutilized. But yeah, have regular ants, have fire ants, giant ants, soldier ants. I think that they can do a lot with the variants, the enemy variants. And then if you couple that with kind of like the different stages of the creatures and stuff like that, I think that's just great. That's a customization for your butt. I think another interesting thing they can do, adopt Fallout 4's looting system. Every item can be used to build something, used to build something, used to craft something, used to, or you can sell it. I think that they could go with that because it helps players. It makes players like. There's no reason to collect trash in Fallout 3. Maybe to sell it, but in actuality, there's really no reason to do it. Fallout 4 gave you a reason because you can use everything to craft in some capacity. We should do that with this game. And I've already said I want them to be weapon builds and gear builds and armor builds. Definitely, we can do a great job of allowing people to take all the trash and stuff to build and craft and to augment. We need to work on that and put that in this game. I think it'll be freaking fantastic. Lastly, I do want to see more kind of slice of life type stuff more in the game. Now, what do I mean by that? One, weather mechanics. It needs to rain. I don't mind if the rad storms come. I want to see windy days. I want to see it rain. I want to see it do heavy rain. I want it to have lightning, windy, misty, foggy. I want all of the different. I want all of it. I want all of the different weathers. I want there to be downcast days. I want it to be sunny days. I want it to be light days. I want it to see it rain. Like, I think that'd be cool. I think there should be a unique mechanic as well in terms of weather. Because if you look at Fallout 4, it had the rad storms. The rad storms are kind of offshoots of the glowing sea. So maybe Fallout 3 can have that. Maybe, in fact, because of the wasteland, why not have like dust storms? You're walking across this arid land, so yeah, dust storms, make that be a thing. Heavy dust storms, light dust storms, maybe even have like slight tornadoes in the background and stuff like that. I think that'll be really, really, really cool. Also, more land hazards. More cliffs, more irradiated areas. Maybe have some areas where like plant life is a bit more like it's poisonous and you can't go there until you like. If you look at Fallout New Vegas, there's a vault, and in that vault there's these mutated plants. Maybe have an area where there are mutated plants and you can't breathe there. Maybe you need a special suit, otherwise you'll get infected with like the spores or something like that. So it's like something like that. Maybe go to an area where there's like, it's very, very unstable. Rocks could come falling down on you, or you can fall down and die. Like stuff like that. Some more environmental hazards I think will work too. Rad and waters that are like irradiated are like cool. But it's not active. It seems like more of a passive thing. Maybe have certain areas where creatures are stronger because of the radiation. That actually makes sense too. Like, why not if you go to an area like a building or something and there's ghouls, the ghouls are souped up. They're stronger because of the radiation versus ones you meet out there in the wasteland where there's no radiation. So that'd be like an interesting idea too. Maybe have an area where electronics don't work or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. There's interesting ideas that I'm throwing out there. And then, quality of life, of course, the character, the NPCs are actually doing stuff. They're not just standing around. When it's nighttime, they go inside, they work, they build, they talk. There's conversation between the characters when you see them walking around like that. They have some dynamic with the main character when they talk to him, whether it's rumors, requests, stuff like that. I think that'll actually work too. Offering certain services that are more slice of life, I think that'll work. Them just my 10 ideas for a Fallout 3 remake. And you can tell how unprofessional I am because I forgot to shoot the intro video when I came in. That's how excited I was to talk about this video. But those are my top 10 ideas for Fallout 3 Remaster. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I would like to see them dive into this because I think Fallout 3 has so much potential as a remaster. And maybe they'll go the Oblivion route where they will bump up some stuff, but not full scale remake it like Resident Evil 4 was. But still, I think that they have an opportunity to implement so many mechanics from the later games to make it a better game. Ultimately, make it a better game, and that's definitely a game. Like if they did that, I would definitely run to get an Xbox, the newest Xbox, to get that game because I'm just that much of a Fallout fan. But just not even that. Those are just some things for Fallout 3. We ain't even talked about New Vegas yet. That could be a completely separate video. But having said that, guys, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Did you agree with any of my points? And if not, let me know in the comment section below. What points would you like to see? What would be some things you would want to see in a remaster of Fallout 3? Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on in this channel. And we're definitely